Hey, horror fans, once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G. Yes, trying to do another horror tag video. Yes, this is from my good friend Gabby Hernandez, and this is called My Horror Tag. Yes. Now, Gabby Hernandez, she's a pretty good horror channel. She's a nice horror YouTuber. I like her content. I like how she talks, and I like how she expresses herself in her videos. She doesn't mince her words neither. And she created this horror tag for the Halloween. So I told her, I said, you know what, I'm going to do your tag. And I apologize for taking a long time because it's crazy trying to do videos during the Halloween season. But here we go. This is Gabby Hernandez, My Horror Tag. Now, I think there's 7 questions in here, and the first question is, why do you love horror movies? Well, yeah. Well, Gabby, you probably don't. I don't know if you know this. I've been watching horror movies since I was like 6 or 7 years old. Most everyone knows that my first horror movie I saw was Universal Monsters' The Mummy. I've enjoyed that one. I've enjoyed all Universal Monster pictures back when I was growing up. I grew up watching horror. Because of the time period that I was born in. I grew up during the 70s, so I was able to watch some of the classic horror films in theaters when they first came out. And of course, back when I was watching horror films, of course, you know, they didn't have cable TV. We just had the standard UHF and VHF channels, and of course, during that time in Philadelphia, mostly all the horror pictures came on UF channels, whether it was channel 17 or 48 at the time. And we had Dr. Shock's Creature double feature, and to me, all those horror pictures were funny. I cracked up laughing. Then again, I was a kid, but I didn't know any better back then, but I've come to appreciate those old classic horror films. So for me, why do I love horror? It's mainly because of all the classic horror films I watched growing up as a kid, especially the Hammer films. Question number 2, favorite subgenre, slasher, monster, and, or etc. I really don't have a favorite subgenre. To me, if it's horror, I'm going to love it. It doesn't matter to me whether it's creatures, vampires, supernatural, sci-fi horror. Anything related to horror, I'm going to enjoy it because it's horror. I love all forms of horror. I don't have a favorite subgenre when it comes to horror. Question number 3, earliest memory involving scary movies. Well, I'll say that I always say this, even though I know the first horror picture that I saw was The Mummy, but my earliest memory involving scary pictures when my brother and I watched Frankenstein. Now, of course, at the towards the end of the picture. Now, I've said this before, but just for you, Gabby, because you'll probably find this funny. My brother and I were watching Frankenstein, and towards the end of the movie, when Frankenstein's monster is trapped in, I think, the windmill, and he's trying to save his creator, and the townspeople have set the whole windmill on fire, and he's busy crying up a storm. Of course, when you're talking about 5, 6, or 7-year-old adolescent boys, we thought it was funny, so we're dying laughing while he's screaming and hollering because he can't stand the fire. So it was just funny. What to expect? I got a morbid sense of humor. Well, that's one of my earliest memories involving scary movies. Question number 4. Do horror movies frighten you? No, not really, to be honest. I can appreciate their attempts to try to make you scare people. I think one of the best jump scares I've seen in horror pictures is Insidious, when Barbara Hershey's character is talking, and next thing you know, when she looks at her son, she sees the lipstick demon right behind her son, and he's just right there. And when that scene gets up and the music doesn't play, that's an effective jump scare, and it scared the shit out of Barbara Hershey. And I thought it was it's one of the best jump scares you can get out of a horror picture. But the horror movies really don't frighten me. I don't know anything it really did. Question number 5. What scares you in reality? Heights. I'm not a big fan of heights. Very nervous around heights, which is kind of crazy because I love getting on roller coasters. But you're in a secured, controlled seat right there, so it doesn't matter to me. I just think I don't know if it's a conquering of fears, but when you go up on the roller coaster and see how high you are, and you know at the first drop, I think when I got on the Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens, Virginia. Didn't know that that was that high, but I think that's what I love about roller coasters is just fighting back your fear, since heights do scare me. But what really scares me is sharks, because sharks are real. No, that's probably what scares me the most are sharks. Let's see. Question number 6. Do you prefer movies based in reality, such as home invasion movies, or the supernatural? I really don't have a preference. Just like with subgenres, it doesn't matter to me. It all depends how well the film is made. When you take a look at, I think, two of the best movies in that subgenre, whether it's You're Next, that's a very effective home invasion movie because you don't know what purpose these people when they invade the house comes in. There's no plot. It doesn't. It's not later on do you realize why they're invading that house. And I thought that was a very effective way to do a home invasion movie. The same thing with The Strangers. There's no motive other than the fact that they just did it. Yeah, I think that's what such makes those two home invasion movies so effective. It's just like with The Conjuring or the Insidious horror pictures, very well made, very well supernatural horror pictures with some excellent creepiness in it. I mean, when you get The Conjuring, you get the Annabelle doll. Insidious, you have the effect of how creepy the further is. And of course, it helps when you have excellent acting, when you have Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne and the Insidious films, or Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga in the Conjuring films, and of course in the Your Next you have some good actress, but I think her name is Shawnee Wilson. I got that name correctly. Yeah, that's what makes those two movies, those two subgenres great. So long it's done nice, it's done excellently. But to me, I don't have no preference. I just enjoy both. No, I actually truly love the last question that Gabby put on here. Does openly loving horror films make you feel alienated from most people? Before I got on YouTube and found how many people love horror, it kind of was because most of my friends, didn't understand why I love horror pictures. Most people thought it was weird. It's like, Money, why you like horror pictures so much? I said, because, well, at the time I said because they're funny. I just love horror. And most people would call me, you're weird, Money. You're weird. Money always loved that strange crap. Not that it feel alienated, but to me it was not like I couldn't really talk to anybody. I couldn't really explain to people why I love horror pictures so much. It wasn't the fact that I was some sick person that got off on the gore and anything else. Excuse me. Like I said, well, it wasn't because I was some sycophant that got off on the gore and anything else in the killing. It's just that I just loved horror pictures. And it wasn't until I got with on YouTube and the horror community that I was able to actually talk to people who love horror just as much as I do. But yeah, it does make you feel kind of sad that, most people think that we're a bunch of weirdos. Maybe some of us are, but but no, we're not. We're just people just love horror, plain and simple. And that's it. That is the horror tag. Bust. I should say the horror tag by Gabby Hernandez. I won't normally will tag anybody, but if you're willing to do the tag, I will leave the questions in the comment section below. Just make sure you give Gabby Hernandez the credit because this is her tag. Well, that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it does help the channel out a lot. And once again, if this is your first time here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. See you guys later. I'm out.